You're listening to Radio Primavera Sound, proudly presented by Cupra.
My guest on Line Noise this week is someone I've wanted to get on for a long while. I've actually interviewed him twice before, but both for written articles, so you haven't got to hear his beautiful sonorous voice. It is Ron Trent, an incredible producer and DJ from Chicago. He's also lived in New York and Detroit. He is known, well, for many, many things, one of which is for recording Altered States, a techno classic, when he was 14, which, of course, we talk about. It blows my mind that he wrote it at 14. But also we talk about his project Warm, whose album What Do the Stars Say to You is a gorgeous piece of work, and he talks a little bit about the second Warm album that he is currently working on. We talk about the current state of house music. We talk about Erykah Badu. We talk about Quincy Jones. Actually, we talk about very many things, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks again to Ron for doing it. He's a lovely man. Oh, and Line Noise comes to you with support of Cupra. Thank you. How are you doing? You played twice yesterday?
Twice yesterday, man. Out in the, the old bullfighting arena here, and then we did the party at the after party here in the hotel here, which is cool. We had some nice clip speakers and stuff, so it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
They may have told you this, but the bullfighting arena is the only place the Beatles played in Barcelona.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
So it's got some history.
Yeah, so were there some other... so it was like a concert venue too, or...
Yeah. And apparently it was exactly the same. Like they haven't... I mean, well, you saw it yesterday. Yeah. It's still beautiful and kind of old and... Yeah.
Oh, wow. So the Beatles played it. Cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I just thought some bulls got slaughtered or something,
Yeah, I'm not really into bullfighting, I've got to say. I'm more into Beatles and bullfighting.
Indeed.
So it's a real pleasure to speak to you. We've spoken on the phone, and we've spoken for various things I've been writing. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Because we spoke for the Warm project, didn't we? Or did we?
Yes, we did. Yeah. I was going to say, so that was 2022.
Right.
And we were talking about Warm, What Do the Stars Say to You? The response to that album been really strong. How do you feel about it?
I think that it was a good start. And, obviously I'm working on my sophomore album, which I have a lot of tracks for. And I've started, kind of like refining the project itself, the second one. So, this one's going to be slightly different, but in the same theme, probably a little bit more jazzy. So, for me, it's just a continuation of the story, man. It's definitely not finished yet. It's like kind of just getting started. We just did the first set of live shows with the band I put together for the European market. And, I will say like the, first gig I think we had at Denkmantel. And, so we had to kind of work out some kinks because we had some technical problems with the engineer on stage and that kind of thing. And by the next time we did the gig at We Out Here Festival, we were pretty good. It was I would probably say pretty awesome, actually. Came off very well, looked very well, sounded good. Had one technical difficulty because it was raining and it was affecting the equipment, But other than that, rocking.
You're saying you're kind of getting ready for the second album. It must be a lot of work because it's a lot of musicians, a lot of collaboration stuff.
And this one was like really something else in terms of like, DJing is one thing. You show up with your stuff, you play, it's the equipment, and you have to deal with that. But like when you're dealing with like a personnel, like 10 people, and then, rehearsing before that, and going through the process and trying this, it's something else. It's an experience, you have to have your shit together. But luckily I had some background in working with live musicians, because I played everything on the album outside of my collaborations. And then, I had to then try to recreate the essence of that project live, which was, a lot. And unfortunately had some problems with the musical director who was supposed to be the musical director. And then I had to step in that seat myself. So it was something else, man. Let's put it like that.
Because you play on the record, you played drums, percussion, keys, synths, piano, guitar, and electronics, right?
That's right. I mean, it's just engineered the project. It's everything, So as like I said, I had the Lenny Kravitz problem. You created everything, and then you need somebody. You need a whole band to. Okay, I got to get somebody to reproduce all of this shit with me, and do it right the way that you want to, So, yeah, man, it was something else.
But how many instruments do you play?
Well, I mean, right now, let's see, percussion, drums, guitar. I'm not like super duper like, oh yeah, I can stand up do a solo, but I can do enough to get, my ideas out and chords and that kind of thing. Keys. So yeah, that would account for 4 right now, I would say. I used to play little horn and shit like that when I was in elementary school, but that was in like, music class or something. I think I played, what was it, saxophone or clarinet or some shit. I don't know. I didn't like really get off of that too much because I had grown up playing percussion. So, that was my thing.
Because your dad was a percussionist, right?
Yeah. And he had a band. He had a band in college, and his professor was Max Roach.
Wow.
Adjunct, professor was Max Roach. And I think him and Max, from what I understand, I got a chance to play together and that kind of thing too. So my father went to the University of Massachusetts. And if you look it up, Max Roach was an adjunct professor there around that time. So I met Max when I was a kid, man, like, rolling through the air. My mother went back, and I think it might have been like 1970, 78, 79. But yeah, man, so. Yeah.
Did he teach you then, your dad?
Yeah, percussion, absolutely. That's the guy who started it. You know what I'm saying? And sit and listen to records and, and play percussion and that kind of thing, and be watching him play, Yeah.
Did he and your mum, did they like your music?
Well, my father passed, man, back in 82. So.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, but, and I had kind of just started dipping my toe off into DJing that year, playing around with the idea at least, and I was around 9 or so, and but we just played percussion and trap drums together and stuff like that. Like I said, listen to records, and then he made his transition. But my mother likes what I do now. You know what I mean? So it's cool. I come from a generation where your family didn't necessarily, they weren't really supportive of a music career because it was so risky, kind of thing. So, it was kind of a situation where I had to prove it to be something else, you know what I mean, in order to be accepted in that way, yeah.
Does your mum have a favorite record you've made?
Nah, I don't know about that. She might. I kind of stopped asking, She says she likes certain things. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. That kind of thing.
A more recent record you made was Midnight Jazz with Robert Matos.
Midnight Jazz? Robert. Oh, you talking about with me talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what. Let me explain how that happened. They just took a vocal of me.
Oh, you're not actually on it, right? Okay. Well, you are on it, but you didn't collaborate.
Yeah, I didn't collaborate on that one. Yeah, okay. They asked if they can use my voice. I said, yeah, sure. And then that turned into its own thing,
It's a good record, eh?
Hey. I don't even know if I have a copy. Thank you for reminding me, Yeah, I don't even have a copy, man. That's how it happens, man. Especially like sometimes when somebody asks me to do something and I can be in the middle of something else. You know what I mean? I don't even really pay attention, but I need a copy. I'm going to thank you for reminding me. Thank you.
Well, I guess it's you saying on the record, because people seem to be more interested in the technology and music than in the soul. Is that you?
Than the soul, yeah, that's me. Yes, sir.
So why do you think that is? Why are people more interested in technology?
Well, I mean, technology makes things easier, quicker access, quicker efficiency in terms of being able to quickly get to, how can I say, fame as it pertains to music business. I mean, I love technology. You know what I'm saying? It allows us to do what we need to do. But, if there's no soul behind the music and behind like what you're doing, it can be, how can I say, it can lack power. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can hear it. You can see it. Especially with somebody that studies music and that kind of thing, you can definitely tell the difference. And now, I mean, it's getting so deep. I mean, AI is kicking in with creating tracks and shit, and it's like, okay, well, there's that. So, I mean, once again, technology has its place, but the idea was for the technology was to be able to express ourselves through a clearer channel, easier channel, you know what I mean? Or easy access, not to eliminate the power or the essence of what we're supposed to be doing, which is expressing ourselves, expressing our spirit,
I'm guessing the answer is no, but would you ever use AI in any way?
No. Not like that. AI, I'm very interested in it on like an efficiency level, and definitely on a level of maybe say like video and the art side of it, meaning like when I say the art, I'm talking about visual art, moving art. Very interested in that. I've been playing around with that myself, but in terms of production of music, no. Can't see that. It's not,
You mentioned studying. I read somewhere you originally wanted to be an architect.
Yep.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Do you see like a connection between that and your music?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, what I do is I consider it sound architecture and layering and building and that kind of thing. So, and also, when you're talking about architecture, you got to relate it to the environment, the surroundings, the buildings or whatever, the inspiration, you know what I'm saying? But structure is art, absolutely. And it's the same thing, to me, it's like what I put inside of, thank you. Put inside of my, the building of my music. And that's kind of how I approach it,
How you approach it, you sort of in an architectural way, like kind of thinking about the structures, how they relate to each other?
Yeah, well, I come up with an inspiration of like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I want to say. This is where I want to go. And then I kind of start building it from there with the tools that I have, whether it be the track that I've built, which is based upon a certain level of elements. Then, the layers and what is that saying, and what I mean by layers, I mean like, the keyboards, the synths, how many synths am I using? Or am I using, 2 or 3 synths together to create a harmony? It's a building and structural process. Of course, I'm not approaching it from just, some kind of scientific, 3 + 3 = 6, and 6, it's not like that. But inside of all that, magic is mathematics and structure and building and, that kind of thing.
Well, my dad, who was a maths teacher, always says that music and maths are connected.
Big time. Very true.
Although he's no good at music, so I don't know where that comes from.
Well, see, so a lot of times, man, people don't get a chance to connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? Because they're concentrating on, one thing, music or math or architecture or this or that. It's all connected, and when you see all the connections and the dots, man, you're like, oh, okay. I remember I had a meeting with a guy who said everything is art. Business is art. Music is art. It is, because it's a science of making things, so you look at it like that. Making money is an art too. It's just, business is the science of making money, so,
I mean, we talked about Warm, the project, which was a very varied record. There are lots of different sounds on it, lots of different influences. And I remember you got very wide taste. So I think last time we talked about Kraftwerk's pre-Kraftwerk band Organisation.
Organisation, though. Yeah.
Do you find like when you, because obviously you take Warm Live, but do you like when you go out DJing, do you still get the opportunity to play like a really wide range of things, or is it?
It depends, it depends on how long I'm able to play, and then it depends like what the environment is. For instance, I just did a ambient set in Berlin at my partner's party called Noosh, and I was able to kind of show a different side of what I do, which was like this whole gamut of ambient, textured, kind of thing, So, I mean, I have a large palette for music, and so it depends on the situation, and the sound system and everything that allows for me to be able to express, myself, if you will, in certain ways.
What are you feeling right now in terms of music? What's really good? Something new, something old can be. I don't know.
Let me think about. Well, I'm still kind of like on the same tip I've been on, which is combination of new age and ambient, considered ambient. I'm always down for some great jazz and that kind of thing too. Let me think about it. I mean, yeah, right now that's about it. I'm not hearing like anything that's super mind blowing. It's like, oh wow, this shit is different. It's more like, oh yeah, that's good. It's great, and hope they keep up the good work. Because what happens with a lot of people, man, is they start great, and somewhere along the lines, whoosh, take that left turn, man, and then it's like, what happened? You say the likes of somebody like that just passed away, who great elder Quincy Jones, who traveled through all those different genres of music that he did. He was good at all of them because he studied and felt what he was doing, and he stayed consistent. And that's it's kind of hard to find, man. Like in producers and musicians nowadays, they kind of go and get ensconced in these trends, and so I try to follow people that are like really consistent in what they're doing, and they're just trying to build on top of like something that they've already done before, kind of thing, and just get better at it.
One thing about Quincy Jones is looking at some of the tributes to him after he died, and you think him, and then you also worked with Frank Sinatra. Oh yeah, you also did that. You're like, it's just amazing the amount of things.
It's crazy, like crazy, man. That was a very it's a deep guy there, man. Like he was able to do a lot of great work in 91 years, man. And all the eras that he was a part of, So, and you see, and he's like this bridge between all these different eras, and then he had his hands off in these different industries and stuff. So he's, man, you just don't know too many people like that.
No,
not at a time, So we witnessed a great life, Yeah.
Where are you living at the moment, if you don't?
I'm still based in Chicago.
Okay.
Still based in Chicago, but I'm in Berlin quite a bit too, as a base. And my partner and I have a spot there, so we use it kind of like it's a launch pad, if you will, So, but Chicago's still the base. That's
because you're touring a lot more internationally, right?
Well, this past year has been, I've been at it hard.
Was that like a conscious decision? Just you kind of like fancied it more, or?
Yeah. Well, I had to get, I had been kind of, how can I say, back on my heels, if you will, for about 8 years or so, I want to say. Mainly doing U.S. dates and that kind of thing, sticking close to home. I had some stuff going on at home and family things. So it kind of limited me in my travel. And man, I had done it so much years before, man. It was like, I needed somewhat of a break in a sense, you know. But since I've been back out, man, I mean, for the last year, I just been like hitting it, boom, 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 and you know, yeah, the travel piece is it can be great, but you know, it's also tiring too. You know what I mean? So,
where have been the best places to play?
Wow, let's see. Probably the best so far, venue-wise, was playing in Bali at Climax. That was very refreshing. That was like really, you know, because Harvey built that club.
Oh, it's that place. Yeah.
I mean, and the environment itself. I mean, the Potato Head is like beautiful, paradise. But you know, and then Harvey built that club there, man, with the Potato Head group, and they didn't, you know, spare, you know, they didn't cut any corners. You know what I mean? They did everything right. The room is done right. Sounds great, sound system and everything else. So I would say that's probably one of the best DJ events. Best live, obviously, was We Out Here Festival. And I'm trying to think of anything else. And then there's been some great parties. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Some epic moments, you know. Yeah, that's the best I can say right now.
What's Chicago like at the moment? I mean, I've got to say, I've never been to Chicago, but for me, it's got a kind of, you know, I love it for its music. You know, it's got a kind of mythical role for me in music. Kind of like seems like an amazing kind of place, but I've never been, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's Chicago is not what it used to be. No place really is, but it's definitely not. I would say of the ilk of what it used to be back in the day in terms of like the being an edgy pulse. Chicago is got a lot of talented people, talented musicians coming out of there. Shit, Quincy Jones was shot town boy. But the thing is that we don't have the music venues. We don't have the situations where there can be a level of that innovation happening again, like it did back in the day, where people could be inspired, create, you know, and then also, and then also, you know, have an outlet to express themselves. You know, things are kind of held within the constraints of, you know, bars and places that, you know, so we serve alcohol and serve food, and you know, it's just not, it's not right actually. And then people replace, you know, their pastime activities or their how can I say, their inability to dance and stuff like that, man, with food and so stuff like that. You know, it's just a different thing, man, but it's definitely not what it was. You know what I'm saying? And then Chicago keeps trying to chase its history. That's what it is.
Yeah? How come?
Well, you have a combination of things going on, man. You have egos and you have, you know, power trips, lack of venues, politics. It's like all the things, you know, all kind of keeping it down. It's in a way of itself, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It seems, and again, this is another place I've never been to, so I might be wrong, but it seems to me like Detroit has done a lot better and kind of like, you know.
Well, Detroit is shit. It ain't nothing there. So, plus, you know what I'm saying? I used to live there, you know, but it's raw.
Yeah.
You know, so it has the ability to build over again, you know what I'm saying? So you have buildings that are just ready to be, you know, inhabited across the city. You know, I mean, you have like places that were broken down, you know, houses and buildings that didn't have anybody in them for years. So yeah, it's like a lot of things that can happen, you know. That's why the whole Berlin Detroit thing.
Yeah,
It was broken down. uninhabited buildings, lower incomes, the artist can then move in, you know what I mean? So it's got like, it can build its own artistic community because there's nothing there. So yeah, it's always had potential. Even like when I moved in like the 90s, man, I was like, it's like, yeah, this shit is like, it's a lot of potential here, and I would like to help. I'd like to see them keep it going, man. I don't know what the plan is, but there's so many buildings there, so many things, We'll see.
Can I go back and ask about Altered States, or are you utterly sick of talking about it?
We could talk about it. It's cool, man.
Okay. I mentioned before I have 2 children, 10 and 11. My daughter's almost 12, right? Mm-hmm. So that means she's basically 2 years younger than you were when you made Altered States.
How old is your daughter?
She's going to be 12 next week.
She's going to be 12 next week.
You were 14 when you made it, right?
I made 14. I made it when I was 14.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready to be, I was either stepping into being a freshman in high school, I believe. Yeah. So they were 14, 15. Yep.
What did your mum think when you turned up with this?
Well, no, she had no idea, man. I was doing these things, man. I mean, she kind of knew I was being creative of some sort, but by the time that I could actually put the thing out, she had to sign a contract with me because I was so young. It's true. Had to get a lawyer, so because it came out when I was like 18, 19 years old, so but she had to sign it and keep it moving for me. But at that point, it was really, you understand, man, this is a time when nobody really knew what was going on outside of how can I say, grassroots community of people that were creating this stuff, or the community that was listening to this budding industry, right? So, it was like, shit, it might have sounded like outer space music to some people, or to an older generation, like, what are y'all doing? It sound like you beating stuff against the wall or something, I mean, it might, you're going from people that grew up on horns and drums and shit, like whatever they were doing, to these drum machines, this electronic culture, which it hadn't cut its teeth yet, so.
Do you think, like, in a way, being young and not having had lots of experience kind of helped in a way? Because it was like that sort of, you didn't have much expectation. You weren't kind of thinking too much about what went before. It was just like, yeah, I can do this. It goes like this.
Well, I would say that, I mean, I was a kid that was pretty advanced in my, or sophisticated in my musical taste and knowledge. I'm not even gonna say anything otherwise. I mean, I really was. I mean, it wasn't, because first of all, I trained playing drums with records. I had to know records, right, and different things, and that came through listening to music with my father or even my mom, and so my reference points in terms of music and music collection was different. So by the time that I approached creating Altered States and all the other tracks or whatever, I had kind of like, had a more of a sophisticated taste in things. So my idea was to try to get to that place, or to do something that I wanted to hear, in a sense, or hadn't heard before. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a natural, organic evolution, more or less. It wasn't that there was just, sure, there was a certain level of innocence. That whole I did what you're saying, like, I don't know how to do it, so let's try something else, kind of thing, But nah, it was pretty. It was experimental, but it was deliberate. How about that? That's the best way I can.
I've got one more question about Altered State. Mm-hmm. When me and my friends used to try to DJ it, we always got screwed up by that bar you put in. Exactly.
Yeah.
Was that meant to sort of screw up DJs, or was that just kind of...
Nah, man, that was like a swing break that I created. you know, and nobody had done that before, you know. Closest thing in shuffle and that kind of thing at the time is how can I say? I'm trying to think there was any records that were out at the time that we liked. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think because later I think. I'm not sure what year 808 State came out. But that was a record that was also had like a nice swing to it that was different, and you know. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else like that in the environment. But nobody here really played with shuffle like that before. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like in the swing. Nobody had really done that before. But that part was just like this, you know, just to make it weird.
Back to the sort of present day-ish. Erykah Badu.
Yep.
Did you work in the studio with her? Or was it a remix?
No, it was totally a remix. It was totally, you know, vocal sent. Hey, Ron, want you to, and it did it, and then it took a long time to try to get it to come out because she was going through a thing with her record company, and you know, which is a Motown, and then it was just a lot, you know, and we did a lot of back and forth, and then you know, Erykah was like, "Hey, put it out," and so it came out. But she chose my mix out of like it was like a lot of mixes done by different people, and she chose my mix, so it was an honor. You know, I have been a long time fan. I have a lot of connections with Erykah because her very first show that she did in Chicago, my ex-girlfriend was also part of the opening act with the group called Giant Step that I later worked with. Not Giant Step, I'm sorry, Groove Collective, which was a part of Giant Step, which is the Giant Step band that used to play at the Giant Step parties. So they would come in they had this big record called what's it, up and away. I think it was called Lift Off. Up and away, Lift Off. And it had a female vocalist on the track. So I guess in order to save money, because it's like 10 of those guys, they were like, we're gonna get a vocalist from each city. So they, you know, Deborah, my ex, she got the job, and they were opening up or on the same show or something like that. And Erykah was actually premiering at House of Blues at the time as a new act. It's the first time I saw her, you know, and Young Badu. And so we, you know, I've been following her all this time, and then I got a chance to do the.
What a voice, eh?
Yeah, she's just a unique. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's got her own thing. That's what I'm talking about. Like she's got her own thing. She's got her own voice, her own style. She crafted it, and she brought a different vibe to R&B music. There was nobody else that sounded like that before, you know.
You've been very generous with your time. I appreciate it. What's coming up next? A new Warm album in the offing?
New Warm album. New ideas to do some more live performances, and obviously more production, more label stuff. Joe Clasell and I started a new label. It was Sacred Medicine. And I'm constantly working on stuff, man. So there's like an arsenal of things coming, you know.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.